Alabama. How much pressure is Kalen DeBoer facing today after losing to Vandy, also losing to a rival, 5-2 on the season for the first time since God knows how long? How much pressure is he facing?
A lot of pressure, and I don't want to say necessarily it's because of the losses. I mean, obviously that's a huge thing that we look at. A loss to Vandy, a loss to Tennessee in a rivalry game. That's not what you expect from Alabama. But big picture here, we're talking about winning culture. We're talking about championship standard, the level of expectation, the level of accountability that's lacking right now. So that's why I think Kalen DeBoer is under pressure. Not just because of the wins, but the style of play that they're exuding, the way that they're handling their business or not handling their business. I mean, you can talk about the penalties. They're one of the most penalized teams in college football right now. The gimmicks, the antics. I mean, there's been a lot of things that have gotten Alabama away from that culture, that feared Alabama team that we're used to seeing. So there's a ton of pressure to get back to what has been in the past because obviously with Kalen DeBoer following the footsteps of Nick Saban, there's going to be a ton of pressure. I mean, obviously replacing a guy like that, there's nothing but pressure. And then when you're at the point of the season that we're at and then we're assessing them the way that we are, we're talking about them in the breadth of, is this even a good team right now? Are they playing to the caliber of what we're used to? Do they have the same standard? Or do they have the same level of accountability, the same level of leadership? We have so many question marks about those things. So to me, that's why Kalen DeBoer is under so much pressure today.
They are at home facing a backup quarterback in Drew Pine, as we know, because Brady Cook is out. It was already terrible last week, right? You lose to a rival, but just how terrible would it be if they suffer a loss tonight? What is our group chat going to be talking about?
If they lose to Missouri, fans will be doing research on the buyout.
Yes.
For Kalen DeBoer, which is insane because I don't think he should. I mean, I always thought this was going to be a transition year for Kalen DeBoer, getting his system, his players into play. So I'm not shocked. The Vanderbilt loss was shocking. But I do think this is the type of game where you have to go out there and it's a must-win game, which is crazy because I don't think it matters for the playoffs. I don't think it matters for anything except pride and reputation and culture. And if you lose this game, all of a sudden there are some significant cracks in that foundation which Nick Saban laid, which all of a sudden teams start looking at you differently. They're like, oh, this isn't the Bama that we were afraid of. Everyone starts looking at you as, oh, this is the Bama team we can beat. So I think this is a massive day. And it's Missouri. Like, this isn't Georgia. This isn't, Texas. This is Missouri, who got beat down by A&M. Like, that's the expectation. And I think they do, but that's what they better do, or else Kalen DeBoer is going to face some serious criticism from the fan base there in Tuscaloosa.
You know what Alabama is right now? They're that kid that was sheltered their entire life.
Oh, my God.
That really strict parent.
Welcome to reality, honey.
Got off to college. They finally went off to college. And Kalen DeBoer is that college coach that says, you know what, have some fun, be a little bit loosey-goosey. They're not used to it. They're not used to holding themselves accountable because Nick Saban and his coaching staff has always done that for them. So this is a little bit different of a situation, uncharted waters for them, and especially for the fans because they're not used to it either. They're used to, being raised with the iron fist, and that's who Nick Saban was, and now it's a little bit different of a culture shift. I don't think Kalen DeBoer is a bad coach. I think this organization has to give him time to adjust, has to get these guys time to buy into what he does and how he does things. And I know, Damien, you don't like that because you come from that same era. So
listen, actually, we have talked about this.
A little bit different.
Definitely, we have talked about this because, it is uncharted waters, and I'm so glad that you brought that up, Beanie, because, you're in position now, you're an analyst, you're taking some heat for some of the Bama fans, right?
Just a little bit.
But listen, you're speaking nothing but facts and nothing but the truth right now. But it's because they are not used to you questioning things that they're doing right now. They're used to people being mad and really upset that they're winning all the time.
Yeah, it's different, and Beanie hit the nail on the head. This is such a different experience for everybody that cheers for Alabama football. I mean, people used to hate on Alabama for being so good, and now they're mad that we're hating on them because they're not so good. But our job, my job, I'm going to speak personally for a second, my job is to get up here and tell the truth and be subjective and identify what is going on with this Alabama football team. And the fact that I played there, and I was a part of that iron fist that Nick Saban was and how he developed this culture and how he laid that foundation for Kalen DeBoer, it means something to me. So that's why it makes me so passionate. That's why I get so fired up about it, for a lack of better terms, but because it means something, because guys like myself and other great players, other great coaches did so much to develop this and get it to where it was, and then to see it kind of start to slip and be undermined for the exact things of what we did that made it different, it brings a sense of urgency in me as an analyst to point out these problems, not because I want to talk bad about Alabama, not because I don't cheer for Alabama every Saturday, regardless of who they're playing. It's because I want to see Alabama be what we've built it to be. It's because it means something to me, and I even want like, they hear this. Kalen DeBoer, I'm sure he's heard some of the things that I've said. Malik has, all these guys, they know what we're saying, and if I have to get up here and say some things, some hard truths, and challenge people with the truth so people can hear it and understand it and be like, okay, well, yeah, maybe we do need to get back to the old Alabama way. That's what I'm going to do, because I have a job to do. I'm going to be subjective. I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to have a sense of pride and passion when I do it, because I love this university, and I want to see it get back to that championship standard, that championship culture that we took so long to build.
Yeah, listen, you've earned the right to 2 natty rings for this guy, so I don't know how much more you could be doing. All right,
Bama
at home today.